Our digital story will be presenting the similarities and differences between Canadian and immigrant parenting styles to explore the impact this has on second generation immigrant children and to address the biases and stereotypes that may surround these populations.
We are a house that yells at our kids. I'm comfortable saying that. We don't use physical discipline in our house. We try to talk to our kids.
Just we try to consider them if there is like a simple mistakes. We try to understand them what is wrong or what is right. We are not very like strict on them like, if they make a mistakes. They are human beings and make a mistake.
They beat me, as in like spanking, usually on the back or the hand, depends.
Like spankings, and like throw like household objects.
Spanking on the butt, on the hands, with a belt or my dad's slipper.
As your kids get older, you have to discipline them properly. And I find this very stressful because I'm born and raised in India. So what I consider robust, healthy, high-quality parental discipline is frowned upon in this part of the world. That's not true. It's illegal.
I think it really just depends on their relationship and how much I trust her. And I mean, we have a really good relationship.
If you talk about my childhood, like no like open date before marriage, and dating before marriage was unacceptable in the traditional society where I grew up. But my daughters, it depends on their maturation and understanding. I'm their dad. I know how mature they are and how like what kind of decision they can make. And I think it is appropriate when the kids get mature physically, mentally, and emotionally, and they can make their own decision.
There was not really an age. It was kind of like you can date when you're married. There wasn't really an expectation at a certain age to date, really.
My dad actually said second year of university so that I would be adjusted into universities and a girl wouldn't distract me too much. So about 19 years old. This is especially important for immigrant children while they are in their teenage years, seeing as certain cultures have rules and perspectives around dating that do not match mainstream society. However, if their peers are more accepting of their culture, this could lead to a sense of acceptance and confidence.
I would definitely have a curfew. I think it depends on the responsibility of the child, how responsible they are, how they demonstrate their capability of following the rules.
I don't have a curfew now, but if I'm out like past midnight, they will text me and say like, come home now, it's like so late.
Between 10 and 15, I wasn't able to leave my house before 4.
When I was younger, I finished school, I come home, 6 p.m. If it was any later, they'd get worried, and when I get home, I would get in trouble.
I want her to become a professional, and I want her to be able to do whatever she wants in life. I want her to go and explore the world and see what's out there, and I also think that most people who have daughters want their daughters to look after them.
I don't have expected them to go to any particular career, to choose any particular career, but for sure, I'm expecting them to have at least a graduate degree and also a good career.
Yes, they wanted me to be a lawyer. I'm going to be a lawyer.
They didn't have like a specific career set out, but they did expect me to go to university and have a well-paying job.
Filipino moms predetermine what their kids are supposed to be when they grow up. And you know I'm not making this shit up. Filipino moms shit on their kids' dreams. And you know I'm not lying. You know I'm not lying. They can't have a dream. What are you talking about, dream? I told my mom I wanted to be a comedian. She cried. Why? Why do you want to be a comedian, Joseph?
We hypothesized that Carrie would follow a parenting style that fits more closely to this approach, as she is a middle-class Caucasian woman. This could partly be due to our own bias and stereotype. As a group, we related our family's parenting style most closely to this approach, seeing as within our home, parents most often take decisions that they believe are in the best interests of their children. Microsystems denote the relations between immigrant children and their immediate surroundings. This system encompasses their intimate contacts in which they have interpersonal connections, family members, and special events or settings that often serve as their point of reference. Mesosystems represent the connections among two or more microsystems, such as interactions between immediate family members and their peers. In the mesosystem of the family and peers, protective parents may monitor their children's interpersonal relations closely or enforce rigid rules that limit free interaction with the mainstream society. Others may encourage participation in ethnic activities that promote strong bonds with co-ethnic friends. Exosystems are the extended systems of influence such as school, church, and neighbors. It incorporates remote social settings that have an indirect effect on immigrant children. Living in ethnic communities can be an advantage, creating a strong sense of community. Macrosystems are broadly defined as a large overarching set of social values, cultural beliefs, political ideologies, customs, and laws that incorporate the microsystem, mesosystem, and exosystem. In general, immigrant parents who are raised in a different culture often cannot count on the host society to pass on their own culture, as their children are regularly being exposed to the new values of the host society through schooling and peers. The chronosystem is made up of the environmental events and transitions that occur throughout a child's life, including any socio-historical events. For immigrants, this can include immigration and assimilation. As social workers, we must have an intercultural understanding, therefore not making assumptions or imposing personal thoughts or beliefs onto another person. Parenting looks different for each culture, religion, and family. As a group, we ourselves had biases and stereotypes about what Carrie's parenting style would look like as a Caucasian woman belonging to a nuclear family. But soon we realized that while we may have differences, we also hold many similarities. Keeping this in mind, as social workers, we must uphold the code of ethics in demonstrating the cultural awareness and competency, and to be aware of the fact that there is more than one way to parent.